Throughout the history of the Philippines, Fort Santiago was used for different things. During the Spanish era, it was a military headquarters, and it was also used by the Americans. And now it's used by Intramuros administration as a museum where they keep the memorabilia of our national hero, Jose Rizal.
The Philippines has long been known for its beautiful vistas and a warm, welcoming people. By developing both, the Department of Tourism hopes to create an unbeatable combination. I'm Susan Calo-Medina. Join me as Travel Time chronicles the making of the Philippines' newest ambassadors, putting their best foot forward, the Mabuhay Guides.
Mabuhay! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Maria, your Mabuhay Guide. If China has the Great Walls, Manila, Philippines has the walled city of Intramuros. Overlooking
in the value chain, quality of our hotels are improving, the quality of the service of our airlines are improving, the travel agencies, the tour operators are improving. There was a missing component that is very important in enhancing the tourist experience, and that is the tourist guide. We needed a new breed of tour guides that has a different perspective, see the Philippines differently, because no matter how you train someone, especially for a tour guide, how you feel about the product, how you feel about your country will really come out. We needed that fresh perspective. So that's when the Mabuhay Guides was really created. The objective is to raise the bar and for tour guiding to be seen as a prestigious profession.
I will now take you to the Rizal Shrine, which is dedicated to the national hero. And inside, there is a museum where you will see mementos of Dr. Jose Rizal. So on our way, please be careful with your steps because there are uneven pavements. Please follow me.
Tour guiding is a natural avenue for me. It's a lifestyle.
was so in sync with what I wanted to do, which was promote Philippine culture. So I thought, why not? Why not be a tour guide? It's a great way to learn about the country.
I see tour guiding as an extension of teaching. So whereas I used to teach inside the classroom, now it's like I'm teaching outside the confines of the classroom. And the sites themselves and the attractions are my visual aids.
I want to do something wherein I can enjoy traveling and also earn at the same time.
I want to be a tourist guide so that I can promote our country and show to others our natural cultural diversity.
I just knew I wanted to travel and to encourage my friends to travel with me.
It's a job that really allows you to live rather than just, working.
I want to explore more about this country because I'm a Filipino.
I'm proud to be a Filipino and I want to share that passion.
I want to be a tourist guide because I want to share the beauty of the Philippines to other people.
To educate our visitors, telling them more about the Philippines, not just the beauty, but how unique we are as a culture.
I wanted to be a tour guide because I'd like to present our country in the best possible, beautiful way.
An opportunity for me to do service to my country.
I wanted to catch that experience of being able to share what I love about our country.
I wanted to be a tour guide because I wanted to promote the Philippines in my own way.
It's my duty to share what I know about my country.
It's my small way of giving back to the country.
I want to be a tour guide because I want other people to see the Philippines the way I see it and for them to know about it the way also I do.
It's up for us to change that perception. And so when I saw the ad, I felt that this is a good opportunity to be able to change that perception.
It was a no-brainer. I wanted to be a tour guide. I wanted to serve my country in the best possible light.
I only realized I wanted to be a tour guide after I finished the training.
I saw Mabuhay Guides and it was a calling and I signed up and now I'm here.
And I was reading the papers and I saw the ad, so I went for it.
I wanted to go into the tourism industry, and at the time when I couldn't find a suitable tourism job, and it just so happened that I was watching Travel Time and I saw the ad and I went online and I saw the curriculum and I was sold on it.
My friend informed me that there was a Mabuhay Guides program that was being offered. It was just the right timing also that it was being offered at the time that I wanted to enroll in a tour guiding seminar.
After looking at the Mabuhay Guides program, I saw that you have 6 weeks of intensive training all about Philippine culture, Philippine architecture. That really made me decide to join the training.
What initially attracted me are the lecturers. I want to undergo lectures with these prominent people in their respective fields.
That's what it attracted me most, the learning experience.
I was amazed of the intensity of the training and of the knowledge that I was going to learn. Initially, those were the factors why I wanted to join.
When I saw the list of the lecturers, I said, wow, these are the people who will teach us.
I realized that the Philippines has just as much to offer, even more. And I realized that I wanted to be a part of presenting the best of the Philippines.
I'm not thinking of the financial gain here, but more of creating a good impression.
I wanted to join the Mabuhay Guides training because it's different from the other tourist guide. It will be a pilot program of the Department of Tourism.
To be honest, I don't think any of us thought we were going to get there. With the tenacity of the interviews and the rabid panel.
You cannot be absent for some.
Yeah.
You have to be there every day. Are you serious?
I'm serious about this. I really want this.
My interview was horrible. I didn't actually think I will make it.
The interview was nerve-wracking. We only had a minute to present about money.
I was actually scared of that interview. There was a lot of you there and you weren't smiling.
I don't want to think about it. But the interview was really nerve-wracking.
It was terrifying. It seems like a blur now when I went in there and then you told me to do my spiel. I think my voice was shaking most of the time.
They grilled me. There were so many questions coming in from left and right. So I said, if I make it, okay. If I don't, then at least I tried.
What I did was when I entered the room, I just take a deep breath and just enjoy the experience.
At that time, I would see people leaving the interview room, and some of them seemed a bit apprehensive. The interview didn't feel like an interview at all. It felt like a conversation.
I was one of the last people who got interviewed, so I thought the interviewers were a little bit tired. So I think you were nicer to me.
Well, it's a little bit nerve-wracking. After the interview, I was thinking, oh, maybe I have 50-50 chance because there are 50 being interviewed and they're going to hire only 25.
I wasn't really expecting anything, but I knew that I had the chance.
I wasn't really thinking like, if I'm gonna pass or not. It's just that I've gotta do my best.
I'm not that confident that I'd be taken immediately. However, I think I had the potential that I'd be taken.
The competition was really stiff.
I really felt bad after the interview because I didn't feel I did too well because the questions were really tough and I wasn't sure that I was able to satisfy all the panelists with my answer.
Although I did feel confident, I did feel passionate that I wanted to serve my country in that manner. Going through that interview, I doubt if any of us was confident going out of it.
During the panel interview, it was as if I was on American Idol. We were waiting outside and we were all nervous, and everything was complete with the presentation and all. All that was missing was the golden ticket.
My idolized country, for whom I gravely pine. Dear Philippines, to my last goodbye, oh hearken. There I leave all behind. My parents, loves of mine. I go where there are no slaves, tyrants, or hangmen. Where faith does not kill, and that God alone reigns. My name is Sandra Balbastro. I am your Mabuhay Guide, and we are now at the last leg of the Rizal Shrine.
Welcome to the San Agustin Church, and we're inside the antechamber. It's located in the Posteria, and the San Agustin Church was built in 1587, and it's the oldest church in the Philippines. So if you could please follow me, please watch your step. Let's go around San Agustin Church. Welcome.
You go to developed destinations in the world. What we can say are the heroes or the models of their industry is really their tour guides, especially Europe, where tour guiding is such a prestigious profession. And the purpose of Mabuhay Guides is really to make it a prestigious profession in the tourism sector, an alternative to young people who are looking at, joining the tourism workforce.
The Mabuhay Guides program has been such an amazing experience. The leaders of the fields have taught us.
The lectures were very, very inspiring. Hearing it again sort of reaffirmed my identity as a Filipino.
Here I am again learning all about history for the second time, and I need to tune myself up just to be aligned with the rest of the group, otherwise I'll fall behind.
I wasn't expecting that we would be handled by some of our national artists, and I really love them because some of them even brought live visual aids.
The lectures are very passionate, and I learned more from them in 4 weeks than when I was still studying.
The lectures were amazing. They had passion burning in their eyes, and more than what they taught us, I was very inspired by their nationalism.
I know I love the Philippines coming into the program. The love in my heart was fanned furthermore by the lecturers.
It made me see what we look at every day, but it made me see things that are around us.
They gave us a lot of insight about the Filipino themselves.
From being a nominal Filipino, if there ever is such a thing as a nominal Filipino, after 3 weeks, I was transformed to being a fan of my own country.
4 corridors comprise the quadrangular cloister of this monastery. And at each corridor, there is a corresponding retablo, as what you see here.
The communication seminar is part of the program that would make us more effective speakers.
We learned how to speak in public. We learned how to be comfortable within ourselves and what we have to say.
From the communication seminar, I realized that I had some habits that I needed to weed out.
I learned to concentrate more on the basics of the 5 Ws and also the basic information that we should share to our guests.
We needed to find out what the top visual priorities were and to structure the information that we needed to give to our guests.
To become a really effective speaker, what to say, how much you should say, when you should say it.
It was more of building up your confidence in speaking in public. The most important thing I've learned about that is to think about your audience and not to think about yourself.
I learned that a big part of tour guiding is the commentary. And the communication seminar helped us to make really good commentaries about where we are guiding. And it taught us how to say something about something which is not really there.
Most of us in the Mabuhay Guides program were a bit shy. We're not so used to talking in public. But the communication seminar taught us how to deal with being on the spotlight and how to deal with our nervousness.
I learned that how to be not so nervous. I was more nervous before. And I learned how to control my hands because when I get nervous, I usually do all these funny gestures.
The main point of the communication seminar, it's really building up how you project yourself and how you communicate, and effectively using your voice and your words as your investment in guiding.
During the communication seminar, I learned a lot in imparting myself, and I learned a lot of getting out of my shell.
The best learning that I have gathered is that to focus on my strengths, on what I have, build my strength around it, and not to dwell too much on my weaknesses.
Practical training. This was training every day for a few weeks. We had bus guiding, we had sight guiding, and we had walking tours. And Nicola and Roger would go out with us as a group and we would practice.
The practical training was very rigorous. It's not easy if you have to ride in a bus and go around the bus route 3 or 4 times in a day. And then it's not easy also getting out of the bus in the heat of the afternoon and walking around Intramuros for 2 or 3 times in a day. But it taught us a lot. I will never look at Intramuros the same way again.
And I could say that if I close my eyes and pass by Ross Boulevard, I know every statue there is to know. And I lost a lot of weight during the training because we had to walk a lot in Fort Santiago and San Agustin Church.
We realized that as we went through each turn, there's always a way to make your performance much better. So there's always something to improve, always something new to notice in each site, and there's always another aspect that you can present to the tourists.
What we learned from the London trainers is that really what you should be is a friendly and approachable guide, because in the end, that's what people respond to.
Being animated, it was really a struggle for me. I couldn't fidget or really move about and flail my arms.
They also taught us to always ensure the safety of our tourists.
The practical training was the fun part of the whole training program because we get to go outside in the field, even if it was scorching hot here in Intramuros.
The London trainers are one of the best mentors I have ever encountered.
They were brilliant and they were very, very generous with their skills.
I was really encouraged, inspired, and challenged by them.
The London trainers were masters of the art of guiding.
The most important thing that I admire about them is their optimism, because even if I failed to perform as what I was expected to, they never failed to give me positive feedback.
We were already pressured on what's thrown on us, and we need that pat in the back at that moment. So it's a big welcome that finally they arrived.
They were perfectionists, but they were also very diplomatic at giving their critiques of our performance. And in the long run, we began to realize that we wanted to strive for perfection.
Tour guiding is actually an art. And if it's an art, then our London tour guides are great artists.
The monument to your right is actually Father Manuel Blanco, who is considered as the father of the Philippine botany. Recent expedition by the Discovery Channel to Hawaii used his publication during the 1800s and the 1900s, the Floras des Filipinas, as a reference because they were trying to find a rare flower in the Asia-Pacific and South Pacific region. That is how much impact Father Blanco put into the Philippines, and that is why he has a garden dedicated to his memorial.
are now in the Legazpi Chapel in the San Agustin Church. This chapel is dedicated to Al Adelantado Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, who is known as the founder of Manila.
The most important thing about guiding is really being able to see things from the perspective of your audience. So it's very important for you to be able to communicate and empathize with the audience.
Guiding is about helping the visitors understand what they see. Guiding is not lecturing. We may have all the great historical facts and stories in our minds, but we should present it in such a way that it would be fun and interesting to the foreign visitors.
To deliver the message in the most entertaining, informative, and engaging manner.
You should have a special eye for seeing things. You should have a special passion.
It's not just about presenting your country to the group, but also taking care of the group and being the leader of the group.
I realized that tour guiding involves developing a lot of empathy for the tourists. So when we think about their safety, we think about their comfort, and we think about how they react to what we're saying. It's basically a way of trying to find out what they feel and responding to that.
It is also an art of creating an experience for them to want to come back to us.
Guiding is a craft, and that's what we learn from our trainers.
The most important thing I learned about guiding is being able to serve other people and being able to bring out the best about the Philippines.
As guides, we should love what we do and we should love the country which we want to show to the rest of the world.
You learn to be passionate about what you do, and more importantly, you learn to be passionate about your country.
The most important thing I believe about tour guiding is for you to really love what you're doing, because if you don't love what you're doing, or if you don't really know or love also the places that you're taking your tourists to, then it will show and you won't be an effective tour guide.
I remember very clearly our London tour guide, Nikki Evans, who told us, if you stop feeling the passion for tour guiding, then please stop doing it.
We have reached the end of our 6-week training. Something that we have fought hard for and long awaited. Our reason for joining was one and the same. All of us shared the same vision, a strong desire to share our talents for the benefit of the tourism industry and the Philippines. We consider it our honor and privilege to be called Mabuhay Guides, and we are committed to serve the department and be the best that we can be, so that other people may appreciate our country the way we do.
I hope to be the best of the best and to promote and uplift the Philippines and to have people come back.
Professionally, of course, I would want to generate return visits to the country, because that's my purpose as a Mabuhay Guide.
Okay.
To be able to create that want so that the foreigners would want to come back.
First, I want to have more guests here in the country. And if a lot of people do share positive aspects about the Philippines, and I think that we can provide more jobs here.
It is my hope that the Mabuhay Guides would be part of changing the mindset or changing how the world looks at the Philippines.
I want to show the best of the Philippines.
To be able to show more people, especially the Filipinos, that we should take pride in what we have.
As a Mabuhay Guide, I envision that my tour guiding would impact on nation building. That this would not just be a simple job for me, but something that would influence my fellow countrymen to be proud of the Philippines and for us to really promote tourism in the country.
My very first goal is to share my passion for the country. It's really what I want to spread. I want Filipinos to be proud of being Filipinos.
what we learned changed me. It changed me in 2 weeks that I went into the Department of Tourism to study. If every Filipino know what we know, then we would be a better country.
If there's like the nursing or culinary or the flight attendant is the in thing right now, I hope that someday if someone wants to apply for a job, I want to be a Mabuhay Guide, and that is really the most fulfilling.
Our first batch of graduates, and I have to say I'm very proud of this first batch of graduates. They come from different backgrounds, different professions, and they went through such a rigorous 6 weeks program, taking seminars from topics of culture to performing arts to history from the best. In fact, their tour guiding techniques comes from a London Blue Badge. This is really the cream of the crop. I just want to see the success of this first batch. The success of the program will depend now on the success of these individuals professionally. If they become successful as a professional tour guide, then the continuation of the program would just come naturally.
And so, we have our first batch of Mabuhay Guides, successfully graduated, but still very much a work in progress. But they're not the only ones. We all have a Mabuhay Guide in each of us waiting to be let loose. All we have to do is know more about our country and our culture and share it with the world. I'm Susan Calo-Medina. Huwag maging dayuhan sa sariling bayan.